murder, molestation, missing, and abused. For years, my black people have been tossed aside like cattle, specifically my black men and my black boys. When are we gonna fight, people? Wake up, people. These leaders ain't doing nothing.
A patient rushed to the ER, overdosed on heroin. There's just one problem. The patient is only 4 years old. Cops say his own father, angry over a divorce, injects the little boy in the neck with a deadly heroin cocktail. That father now facing attempted first-degree murder charges. Let me go to Jill Ryan, news anchor for News Talk 92.3 KTAR. Jill, give us more of the backstory here, because when I hear about a divorce, and I know that in a courthouse, the most dangerous courtrooms are the ones where people are going through family issues as opposed to the criminal courts. And is this a case that this was a bitter divorce and mom was going to move away with this child?
Well, it's a situation where we know that the father, 37-year-old Eric Lettinen, had a history of drug addiction. He was described in court documents as being a drug dealer in addition to being an addict. So there was obviously some trouble there. We also know there was trouble on the home front, and that the wife, Saradia, had actually written in the custody agreement that any visitation with the father, Eric, would include drug testing so that she knew her little boy was going to be safe.
So mom knew that dad had a history here. Now, why did mom leave the child with dad, knowing this history?
Well, I think she was trying to protect. Everything that we've seen so far indicates she was trying to protect her son. She was actually living in San Francisco and was planning on relocating, and in fact had a job interview in Seattle. So she left the little boy with his father overnight so that she could actually go to the job interview. And she had tried to reach them and wasn't able to, and that's when she actually went over to the house.
Joe Schrank, interventionist, founder of Rebound Brooklyn. Joe, let me ask you, if someone is a drug addict and they have issues and perhaps they're using and they're taking care of their child, could they be under the influence of these drugs to such an extent that they don't know what they're doing in bringing harm to their own child? Or is that impossible in this situation and he knew what he was doing?
It's unlikely that he didn't know exactly what he was doing. I mean, heroin addiction is a very serious addiction, and it's something that, but people are, more than likely, people who are under the influence of heroin are nodding out. And so it seems like a fairly calculated act. I would question the judgment of the mother. I mean, the idea of leaving your child, a 4-year-old child, with somebody with any kind of history of heroin addiction where she doesn't know his current state is irresponsible, and she's complicit in this.
Your boy with the smile, as you can see. I'm shaking my head on that. It's going to take too much of y'all time, because that video you just saw basically was self-explanatory. I'm just going to touch up on a few things that I feel, is very important and that we should really point an eye to, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what I feel should happen, to be honest. First things first, I want to get into, I don't have any kids. Let's get this clear. I don't have any kids. So, now, I don't really know what it feels like to care for another child. Let's put it that way. But as a child who was raised in a single-parent home, I do know or have an idea of how a parent should take responsibility to keep their child safe from any hurt, harm, or danger. Okay? I do understand that part of it. Now, moving forward. Like I say, this is not going to take too much time because the video was self-explanatory. I'm going to leave you guys the link to the article. Now, the father, okay? First things first, I'll just repeat the names. The father is Eric Lettinen, and the mother is Saradia Lettinen, okay? As you guys saw in the video, they were going through a divorce. Basically, what I want to get into is I'm going to say this. I don't know. Y'all might not like it. This is just my opinion. I put all the blame on the mother. All the blame goes to the mother. With that being said, father has a history of drug abuse and he was a drug dealer. Okay. Now, with this murder or this incident, okay, during a search warrant, once everything happened and everything came out, the guy had over $12,000 in his home. He had drugs in his home. He had syringes. He had everything that you could possibly have as a drug dealer and a drug user. Okay. Now, let me say this. The father and the child were found unresponsive. Okay. Now, the child was found, once they did punctures in his neck, punctures in his ass, just punctures everywhere. It was just ridiculous. The child had ketamine, heroin. He had all kind of chemicals in his body. I repeat, oh my God, this is a little child. This is a little kid. This is another little kid, okay? And the story does not say if they were black or white. It doesn't say. I tried to find pictures. I've tried. Maybe some of y'all can maybe help me and find something to say if they were black, white, I don't know. But in my opinion, it's irrelevant because there was a little child involved, okay? Now, getting back to why I say it's the mother's fault. Now, like the video says, they were going through a divorce. Okay, maybe that hurt the man. If it hurt your punk ass, he's a pussy. The man was a pussy. He was hurt, so he decided to get drugged up. But whatever. They say it was revenge because he was getting divorced. Man, that's bullshit. He's a pussy. He's a punk. He's an asshole. Whatever you want to call it. Don't give me no excuse because you're going through a divorce. Your butt hurt. And you go off and you stick needles off into a little ass damn kid. See, now I'm getting upset. Y'all see, I tried to keep the cool, calm, smooth voice. But, as I go into this story and really get to thinking about what happened, I can't use no divorce as an excuse on, it hurt, nigga got butt hurt, so I want to kill because this woman no, you's a bitch, nigga. Now, getting back to the mama. It's all her fault. Why? This woman, I'll say this woman, I'm going to use the B word, this woman knew that the father of her child, it's a history of drug abuse and being a drug dealer. She knew. So, going through the divorce, before the divorce was finalized, because you knew, this is why, people, this is why she was going through the divorce, is because she already knew. These were the problems she was having. He was doing drugs and beating her, it's all kind of stuff that was going on behind the scenes, basically. But this is the main reason why they were going through a divorce. She wanted to get away from that. Now, if you're going through a divorce and you want to get away from that, now, you have a job interview. You're going to leave your child with somebody you're divorcing because of their history. Drug abuse and a drug dealer. You leave your child with this person. I'm sorry, I tried not to use it. Bitch, you stupid. What the fuck's wrong with you, bitch? I'm sorry for using curse words. Let me calm down. Sarah Dia, they need to take you out into the fields, put you down on your knees, and do you Afghani style. I'll just leave it at that. You took your child over to a man's house, left him there, and then say, I didn't. This is what she says, y'all. I didn't believe that, he was gonna, do drugs again. I know he has a history, but I didn't believe. For real. Knowing that you two are going through a divorce with a child in the middle. And like I said, I don't have a child, but I can just imagine two parents going through something and that child is in the middle on how two parents are going to be divided because of that child and how that is going to affect that child. I know how a child is affected when both parents are not around at the same time. But too bad this child is not going to be affected anymore. Child ain't got to worry about being infected with impurities and things of that nature because the child is dead now. Due to the fact of a careless ass mother. She wanted to go on a job interview and left her child with someone she knew had a drug abuse problem. I don't know what else to say but to say this again. Sarah did. They need to take you out into the woods, put you down on your knees, and shoot you Afghani style. I don't know what else to say. That's a bunch of BS, dude. I don't see how you would leave your child with the dumb ass, unstable ass nigga that you knew that this is why you're divorcing him. I'm gonna say this and I'm out. I hope this wasn't a black family. If anybody can help me, I've tried to look at pictures. I even typed in race, name. Could not find it. They are keeping this on the hush hush. They're keeping the race on the hush hush. So I don't know if it's black, white. I hope it ain't black. I really hope it ain't a black family. I really hope it ain't. But I'll leave you guys with that one and stay tuned. Your boy with a smile, the Adrian English, aka Mr. Pearly Whites. I got a topic that I'm gonna hit y'all with. It's gonna be a touchy one that ain't nobody touched on. And I'm gonna touch on